Welcome to our newest episode about Baba Yaga. Subscribe our channel and enjoy. Baba Yaga is a prominent figure in Slavic mythology and folklore. She is a witch who lives in a hut that stands on chicken legs and is known to be extremely powerful, feared and respected by those who know of her. Baba Yaga is often depicted as an old, withered woman with wild hair and a crooked nose, and she is known for her ability to shapeshift, her connection to nature, and her love of trickery. There are many stories about Baba Yaga, and her character is often used as a symbol for the darker aspects of the natural world. One such story involves a young girl named Vasilisa who was sent by her cruel stepmother to Baba Yaga's hut to ask for a light. Baba Yaga agrees to give Vasilisa a light, but only if she completes a series of impossible tasks. With the help of a magical doll given to her by her mother before she died, Vasilisa is able to complete the tasks and return home with the light. Another story about Baba Yaga involves a man named Ivan who seeks her help in finding a bride. Baba Yaga agrees to help him, but only if he can perform a series of tasks, including finding and milking her magical cows, and collecting the golden apples that grow on a tree guarded by a fire-breathing dragon. Ivan is successful in his tasks and Baba Yaga rewards him by presenting him with a beautiful bride. Baba Yaga is also known for her connection to nature and her ability to control the elements. In one story, she helps a group of girls who are lost in the forest by calling forth a wind that carries them to safety. In another story, she helps a man who is being pursued by a pack of wolves by calling forth a river that separates him from the wolves. In addition to her magical powers, Baba Yaga is known for her love of trickery and her ability to deceive those who seek her help. In one story, a man seeks her help in defeating a rival, but Baba Yaga tricks him by giving him a potion that causes him to fall asleep for many years. In another story, a man seeks her help in finding treasure, but Baba Yaga tricks him by leading him to a pit filled with snakes and scorpions. Baba Yaga is also known for her association with death and the afterlife. In some stories, she is seen as a harbinger of death, while in others, she is a protector of the dead. She is often depicted as living in a realm that is on the edge of the living world and the realm of the dead. Overall, Baba Yaga is a complex and multifaceted character who has captured the imagination of people for centuries. She represents both the power and the danger of the natural world, and her stories continue to be told and retold to this day. Baba Yaga's name, which translates to old woman or grandmother, is a nod to her status as a wise and experienced figure in Slavic folklore. She is often seen as a guardian of the natural world, and many of her stories involve her helping those who show respect and humility towards nature and its inhabitants. Despite her fearsome reputation, Baba Yaga is also known for her sense of humor and her love of riddles and wordplay. In some stories, she challenges those who seek her help to solve a riddle or a puzzle before she will assist them. This adds an element of playfulness to her character, and highlights the fact that she is not simply a malevolent force, but a multifaceted figure with many different aspects. Baba Yaga is also associated with a number of magical objects, including her broomstick, which allows her to travel quickly and easily through the air. In some stories, her broomstick is also used as a weapon, and she is able to strike down her enemies with it. She is also often depicted as carrying a mortar and pestle, which she uses to grind up magical herbs and spices. In some versions of her stories, Baba Yaga is portrayed as having 3 daughters, all of whom are also witches. These daughters are sometimes seen as her assistants, and they help her with her various tasks and activities. In addition to her role as a witch and a guardian of nature, Baba Yaga is also sometimes seen as a goddess or a divine figure. In some Slavic cultures, she is seen as a deity associated with fertility and the harvest, and offerings are sometimes made to her in the hope of a bountiful crop. Overall, Baba Yaga is a complex and enigmatic figure, and her stories continue to captivate and inspire people today. Whether she is seen as a trickster, a wise woman, a protector of nature, or a goddess, her character embodies many of the qualities that are valued in Slavic culture, including strength, wisdom, and a deep connection to the natural world. Baba Yaga's hut, which is often described as standing on chicken legs, is one of the most iconic and memorable aspects of her character. The hut is said to be able to move around at will, and it is often depicted as being difficult to find, or appearing and disappearing mysteriously. Some stories even suggest that the hut is alive, and that it is able to communicate with Baba Yaga and her visitors. Baba Yaga's hut is also a symbol of her connection to the natural world. The chicken legs are seen as a metaphor for the connection between the earth and the sky, and the fact that the hut can move around at will suggests that Baba Yaga is not bound by the rules and restrictions of human society. Her independence and freedom are part of what makes her such a compelling character, and her stories often emphasize the importance of self-reliance and resourcefulness. Another aspect of Baba Yaga's character that is worth exploring is her relationship with women. While many of her stories involve men seeking her help, there are also numerous tales that focus on women who interact with Baba Yaga in various ways. In some stories, Baba Yaga is seen as a protector of women, and she helps them to navigate the dangers and challenges of the natural world. In other stories, however, she is depicted as a harsh and unforgiving figure, who punishes women who fail to live up to her expectations. Baba Yaga's stories are also notable for their vivid descriptions of the natural world. Many of her tales take place in dense forests, on the banks of rivers, or on the edge of vast, empty plains. The landscape is often described in great detail, and the natural elements, such as wind, water, and fire, play a significant role in the stories themselves. This connection to the natural world is one of the key reasons why Baba Yaga's stories continue to be so popular and enduring, even in the modern era. Finally, it's worth noting that Baba Yaga is not just a figure in Slavic mythology, but has also made appearances in other cultural contexts. She has been referenced in numerous works of literature, from Russian fairy tales to modern fantasy novels, and has even appeared in video games and other forms of media. Her legacy as a powerful and mysterious figure shows no signs of fading, and she will likely continue to captivate and intrigue people for generations to come. One interesting aspect of Baba Yaga's character is her connection to death and the afterlife. In some stories, she is seen as a guardian of the underworld, and her hut is said to be a gateway to the realm of the dead. She is sometimes depicted as having control over the souls of the departed, and is able to bring them back to life or send them on to their final resting place. This association with death and the afterlife is also reflected in some of the objects that Baba Yaga is said to possess. For example, in some stories she is said to own a magical skull, which is able to answer any question truthfully. The skull is often seen as a symbol of Baba Yaga's connection to the spirit world, and her ability to communicate with the dead. Baba Yaga is also known for her ability to shapeshift, and she is often depicted as taking on different forms in order to deceive or intimidate her enemies. In some stories, she is able to transform herself into a beautiful young woman, while in others she takes on the form of a fearsome, hunchbacked crone. This ability to change form is seen as a reflection of Baba Yaga's power and cunning, and adds to her reputation as a formidable opponent. In some versions of her stories, Baba Yaga is portrayed as a trickster figure, who delights in confusing and confounding those who seek her help. She is often seen as having a mischievous sense of humor, and is known for her love of riddles and wordplay. This playful aspect of her character is often juxtaposed with her more serious and frightening qualities, creating a complex and multifaceted figure that is both fascinating and intimidating. Finally, it's worth noting that Baba Yaga's stories are not limited to the Slavic cultural context. Similar characters and motifs can be found in other mythological traditions, including the Celtic and Norse traditions. This suggests that Baba Yaga is part of a broader cultural archetype, one that reflects humanity's enduring fascination with powerful and enigmatic female figures. Whether she is seen as a guardian of nature, a trickster, or a terrifying witch, Baba Yaga remains one of the most iconic and memorable characters in world mythology. In many of Baba Yaga's stories, she is portrayed as a force of chaos and unpredictability. She is often seen as a symbol of the untamed and unpredictable aspects of the natural world, and her stories often involve characters who must navigate dangerous and unpredictable situations in order to succeed. One interesting aspect of Baba Yaga's character is the way in which she is able to subvert traditional gender roles. While many stories depict her as a fearsome and powerful figure, she is also sometimes shown as a nurturing and protective force, particularly towards women and girls. In these stories, she is seen as a guardian of the vulnerable and the marginalized, and her help is often sought by those who are in need of protection and guidance. Baba Yaga's stories also often involve complex and nuanced portrayals of morality and ethics. In some stories, she is shown as a figure who rewards those who are kind, brave, and resourceful, while punishing those who are greedy, lazy, or selfish. However, in other stories, her motivations are more ambiguous, and her actions can be seen as either benevolent or malevolent depending on the context. Another aspect of Baba Yaga's character that is worth exploring is her connection to the concept of liminality. Liminal spaces, such as the threshold between the inside and outside of her hut, or the space between life and death that she is said to inhabit, are places of transition and transformation. Baba Yaga's stories often involve characters who are in a state of transition or transformation, and who must navigate these liminal spaces in order to achieve their goals. Finally, it's worth noting that Baba Yaga's stories continue to inspire and influence contemporary culture. From her appearance in modern fantasy novels and comic books, to her representation in visual arts and film, Baba Yaga remains a compelling and enduring figure whose legacy shows no signs of fading. Her stories continue to captivate and intrigue people of all ages and backgrounds, and her character remains a symbol of the enduring power and mystery of mythology. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel and see you in next episodes.